Yesterday show where we never talk about what's happening today. I'm your host, Isabella Biaskin.
And I'm your co-host, Grayson Hernandez.
The date is April 4th, 1949, and today we'll be diving into the Arab and Israeli war. We'll be talking with a few people who were living in Israel either before or during the war to see what people were feeling and how their conflicts affected day-to-day life. Let's rewind time and return to where all of this started. After World War II, the Jewish people were discriminated against and had nowhere to go. They began to immigrate into Palestine, a sacred land to them. Palestine was native to the Arab people, who were particularly upset about this large intake of Jews.
With rising tensions, the UN decided to take action. Jerusalem, the capital of Palestine, was to be placed under international protection, and the UN created a Israeli state, making up 51% of the country, a Palestinian state, making up 44% of the country, and the last 5% to be Jerusalem.
With Jews celebrating at the fact that they now had a real territory in the country, the Arabs were furious, building tensions near their breaking point. And despite the tensions built, on May 14, 1948, Jewish leader David Ben-Gurion proclaimed independence for the state of Israel, the name of their new homeland.
Arab troops attacked Israel the next day, sending the two nations to war.
I don't think they should have attacked. I mean, those people just needed a place to stay. No one was looking to go to war.
Whoa, wait a minute. We can't say that. This is live. The producers strictly said that we can never say anything about our own personal opinions. It's only a matter of time before... Hello? Yes, sir, No, they were already... Yes, sir, but... Yeah, I understand. Goodbye. I have to go.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. We're heading live now to Rose to get the story from someone who was there at that time.
Thanks, Isabella. We're currently here in Israel with an Israeli woman named Sierra Hansen. She was present before and during the fighting and would like to give us her story. Sierra, what was going on when the war began?
Well, the Arabs decided to attack Israel in every direction you could think of. They came from the north, east, south, and west, and everything in between. This was the first time the Arab League was formed. You see, they were made to protect the Arab Palestine state. It was also during the time the Arab states had declared themselves their own independence. They really sent nationalism on the rise. The enemies of the Arab League launched attacks against Jewish cities. They destroyed settlements as well as military bases. The Israeli forces were surrounded and everyone thought it was over. However, the UN announced a 4-week ceasefire in hopes of keeping peace. During this time, the Israelis decided to buy weapons from Czechoslovakia and used this time to recognize their army. Once the 4 weeks ended, Israel launched a counterattack by attacking 2 strategic Arab towns, which caused around 70,000 Palestinians to flee. Those that remained of the Arab armies tried to fight back, but had little coordination and cooperation. In the end, the Israelis won the war, causing 900,000 Palestinians to leave and become refugees. Not my preferred choice, but this is war. This resulted in an increase in Israeli-controlled land, leaving them now to control about 78% of Israel, with the Arabs controlling about 17%.
Thank you, Rose. We have a few more online shoppers waiting for us.
Callers, not shoppers. No one shops for news stories. They're just so boring. I mean, entertaining. Yeah, that. Anyway, back to you.
Well, it appears that our callers aren't responding, and I can neither confirm nor deny that our producers weren't happy with who we wanted to talk with. I mean, why wouldn't they want the public to be exposed to... Oh yeah, now I see it.
I wonder, well, I guess it's back to Rose, who has magically found new people to interview. That's pretty convenient, if you ask me.
What do you mean I'm back on? I thought it was, we're live. Here we have another Israeli citizen, and they're here to talk about what they faced throughout the war. So, when the first war started, how did you feel about the Arab soldiers attacking? What do you think about the boundaries now?
Well, I was very scared. I didn't quite know what to do because Israel had just been separated into 2 states. I thought that would have kept the peace, but then the war occurred with the Arabs and everyone started freaking out. I remember hearing the gunshots from far away and worrying because I didn't know if my town was going to be next. Thankfully, the UN stepped in with the 4-week ceasefire. But then after it ended, the fighting began all over again. This time, the Israelis launched the attacks instead of the Arabs. Turned out Israel was able to defeat the army. And now I'm happy that I just have land and I can finally live and settle.
Okay, now we have an Arab citizen, and they're going to give us their opinion on what happened.
War was always a scary thing to me. So when the news came out that the Arab army was attacking Israel, I knew that this dispute wasn't going to end anytime soon. I personally disagree with the Jewish side, and I wish we could have had won the war. We were promised an independent state, but we never got it. Instead, the Jews took our land, and the UN decreased our land on top of that. The Jews getting a victory and getting that land just angers me. We had the land first. I think we deserve to keep it ourselves.
Thank you for your opinion. I've been told that in Israel they called this war the War of Independence. However, the Arabs call this the War of Catastrophe due to the large amount of refugees and all the people who were killed in the war. Last year, we have an Arab soldier who fought in the war and can tell us how they felt during the fighting.
The war was such a traumatic experience. If I'm going to be honest with you, I was nervous and scared, but I was doing it for my people. I had to fight for the land that was taken away from my people. When I heard the news about the Arab army losing, it angered me. The amount of people that died and lost their lives, it was all for nothing. It's a cycle at this point. At first, the Jews were refugees with nowhere to go and no place to settle in. And now the Palestinians were in their shoes, lost with no land to settle in.
Thank you for your time. Well, you just saw 3 different perspectives talking about the war. It's been sad to hear all the hardships they faced as well as how these 2 groups are still in disagreement. Well, anyways, back to you in the studio. Wait, what's this?
Rose, you there? Well, that concludes our current and final episode of the Yesterday Show, as we have now been demonetized.
We've explored life during the war and discussed key points in Israel's history. We hope you've enjoyed, and we won't see you next time.
This has been Isabella Viaskin, your host for the Yesterday Show.